Best of r/Tales from Retail's episode 9. A kid who was probably around 65, probably shouldn't be calling him dad despite him being 17, came into my store and seemed sketchy. I told my managers and everyone kept an eye on him. He eventually left. Fast forward about 2 months. I had a court date to appeal a speeding ticket I had gotten and was vaping outside the courthouse before my appeal in 18. Kid comes out of the courthouse and I recognize him instantly and he also recognized me. He asks if he can get a hit. I ask him his age and he replies, 17. So I say no. He's pleading with me to get a hit and I just say, dude, we're literally outside the courthouse. That would be such a stupid decision. He asks me why I'm there and say, I'm appealing a speeding ticket. You? He responded with, shoplifting. I later told my managers about the kid and they now listen to my gut feelings. The store he stole from? The one right next door to ours. Thank you. Next. First post ever. Long time lurker. This story happened when I worked grocery in Florida in high school about 7 years ago. TLDR. Customer flips his lid and his cart, because we physically cannot check his order out, then almost breaks our front door trying to leave. The grocery store I worked at closed at 10 p.m., but I would usually start closing things up at about 9:45 p.m., leaving one door and one register open. Customer, C co-worker, CW me, some introvert just trying to go home. Customer comes into store at about 9:30 p.m.ish. C, you all still open? Me, yes, sir. We close in about 30 minutes. C, good. He then grabs a cart and wanders off. Meanwhile, I'm collecting garbage, retrieving carts, etc. At 9:55 p.m. I ask my co-worker if she's seen anyone else come in since I've been cleaning. She says no and I tell her to close up the registers and bring the tills to our manager. It usually take long enough that at last one register will be open when we actually close. I never thought to ask if the guy from earlier checked out. We even did final call over the intercom. I figured 30 minutes was enough time for him. Boy, was I wrong. At about 10:10 p.m. I was in the back sorting damages when I heard the intercom. CW, over intercom. My name. Could you please come up front? Now. The now sounded like a cry from help, so I rushed back up front to see said customer with a cart that basically overflowed with groceries. I come walking up. Me, what's going on? C, she's refusing to check out my stuff. You said you were still open when I walked in. Me, I glance at my watch. Yes, sir. You came in more than 30 minutes ago. We technically been closed about 15 minutes ago. The tills for the registers are locked up. C, the F. What the hell am I supposed to do? Me, we can hold on to your cart and you can come back in the morning too. C, what? No. I need this stuff now. Call your manager. CW, she's counting money. Once the tills are gone, fear gone till morning. We can't do anything. He then proceeds to flip his cart forward, spilling almost everything onto the floor. Thankfully, nothing glass. He kicks past all the carnage and tries to exit the door, which is locked. As I'm about to unlock it, he pushes the doors and they pop off the rail and swing open, causing a loud bang my manager could hear from the offices. He stomps off to his car by the time my manager appears. So, then, I fixed the doors and my co-worker and I throw all the groceries back in the cart and roll it in the go back area. We clock out and leave. Next day, he comes in and tried to report my co-worker and I for refusing service. My manager told him she saw the footage of him pitching a fit and causing a mess. He got a permanent ban from the store. Thank you. Next. So this happened a few years ago while I was working as a cashier at a pharmacy. It was a smaller, more community-focused location, unlike some of the other larger stores in the chain. A lot of the customers were regulars, and one happened to be a city councilor. I'll call him Dan. He was also the councilor in my area. Funny enough, I happened to be working on the day where my city would no longer require a 5-cent charge for plastic bags. The city left it in the hands of companies to decide for themselves if they wanted to continue to charge, and my company decided to continue to do so. Dan happened to come in one today of all days. Dan was one of the customers who always seemed annoyed at being asked for a loyalty card and bag since he didn't care either of them. but we were always supposed to ask. So as I was ringing him up I asked him if he had a loyalty card. No. He responded sounding annoyed. I then asked if he wanted a bag. He smugly asked, "Do I have to pay for it?" Having already mentally prepped what to say, I responded, "Yes, as company has decided to continue to charge 5 cents for plastic bags. The money collected goes charity." His response, "What is this? Communism?" I don't think Dan knows what communism is, but I do know he never got a bag that day. After this I kinda stopped asking him both questions, as he would always answer the same. That is until one day months later he was annoyed I didn't ask him if he had a loyalty card. Out of nowhere he started carrying one. My guess, his wife likely had one and was annoyed at all the points he threw away. Thank you. Next. This is a short one, but I thought to share. I work in a grocery store, and the cashiers have a policy where when they need to go on break, lunch, or clock out they put up their closed signs but still check out everyone that is still currently in their line. We also need to tell the last person in line that they can stay in line, and they will be the last customer. So the other day it rained, so we were pretty slow during that time, but after it cleared we were bombarded with customers who presumably wanted to wait until the rain subsided for them to do their grocery shopping. One of my co-workers needed to clock out, with about 9 customers still in her line. I was bagging the groceries for her, and she, not wanting to risk more people joining her line, asked me to put up her closed sign. She handed me the sign, and it put it at the end of the conveyor belt. As I was walking to last person in line to let them know they would be the last customer, a man who was standing with his girlfriend decided to say, "That's wonderful. That's wonderful." Before he said that I was going to explain that they could stay in line, but him saying that kinda rubbed me the wrong way, mainly due to it already being kind of a long day. I walked right past him and straight up to the last customer, who was 2 people behind him, and said that they would be the last customer. Then as I was walking away I heard the guy say, "Oh, I thought we were going to have to get out of line. Thank you." Next. Tale number 2 from the game store. Regular weekend day. Don't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. Fairly busy. Lots of people making small purchases. Phone rings. I ask my current customer to excuse me after answering their question, and then answer the phone and give the spiel. "Hey, do you know if the Chinese food place next door is open?" The phone guy asks. I'm puzzled as I've never been asked about another business like this before. I say, I'm not sure. Well, I'm calling them and they won't pick up. "Can you go check for me, please?" he asks. Polite though he may have been, this was one of the strangest requests I've ever had. "I'm sorry, sir. I've got quite a few customers to take care of so I can't do that." I say, "Well, just put me on hold until you're done and then you can check, can't you?" If we didn't have 2 phone lines, I would have declined. But I obliged and put him on hold and went back tending the customers. My co-worker was in the back doing inventory, and I didn't really need him out there to help since it was more of a leisurely stream than a crashing wave of customers. About 5 minutes later, the guy calls again. "Hi, thanks for calling." Yeah, I know. "What, did you forget about me, or something?" he barked. I hate it when people cut me off, so disrespectful. "No, sir, I didn't, but I'm still helping customers. You're not a customer since you're not doing business with me, so you are not anywhere near the top of my priorities right now." "Well, I can't wait much longer. Can't you just tell one of them to check outside?" I actually thought about doing this. One of my regulars was in, and had gone out and gotten me some food, not from the Chinese place, if you're curious, once when I was working alone, so I thought I'd be a good sport about it. But as I was thinking about asking him, "For fork's sake, dude, I just need to know if the Forkin restaurant is open," he said. No, he was not talking about cutlery. At this point, I was done with him. "I'm sorry, sir, but if you don't have a question about our business, I can't help you," I said and hung up. Think it ends there? Yeah, right. I'd love to say he actually came in and yelled at me or something, which I was actually afraid of happening, but he never did. Never found out if the Chinese place was open or closed, though. Free from the chains. Number 1. Give me that more expensive item for the same price as the cheaper item. Thank you. Next. Apologies for my sentence structure and formatting as I am terrible at both and on mobile. Some info to start with, I guess. I work at a gas station as the full-time graveyard employee. We lock the doors at night and serve customers through a window with a speaker box. Signs are clearly posted at every door and there are giant orange traffic cones in front of every door except for the one beside the window. Earlier I had a customer pull up and get off his bike and read the signs on 2 doors, then walked up to the window. I turn on the speaker. Me, hey, what can I get for you? Customer, hi, tries to open the door. Me, UHH sir, the doors are locked at 11 but I can help you through the window. He then reads the sign on the door and tries it again, so I just looked at him perplexed. Customer, what's that look for? Me, you read the sign twice and I told you I could help you at the window and you still tried the door. Customer, sorry, I guess I'm illiterate. He got cigarettes and as he was leaving on his bike gave me the finger and shouted profanities at me while I actually laughed. Thank you. Next. So among the calm before the storm that is the holidays, I had a weird, almost comical interaction. I work in a popular video game retailer. The phone call went. Thank you for calling Video Gar. Is this Tile50? Why yeah. Tile50, this is Anna. I bought some magic cards in there but I don't have a receipt. Can I return them? Have you opened them? Yep. Then no. The cards are random every time, so because they're opened I won't be able to take them back. But I just bought them. Well, come in, and I'll see what I can do. But like I said, I can't return them if they've been opened. For a little bit of clarification, the customer is a semi-regular but is normally one that needs an eye on them. Otherwise things go misplaced. So a half hour later he comes in and has a 2016 box of MTG cards, and tosses them across the counter at me. Not aggressively but like you were tossing your keys to your friend. Regardless, I was caught off guard, nearly dropping them. You said you'd return these. Tile50. No I didn't, but let me check on some things. I'll see if there's anything I could do. I pull up his rewards account and check his history, and of course, only thing on there is 3 purchases from this last year, and then 2 back to 2018. So I scan the UPC, and furthermore we don't even have a SKU for it. It brought up some supply item SKUs. So yeah, we never carried this item. Dude, we don't carry this. I just bought it here on Wednesday. Oh man, I had to open and close Wednesday. Last thing you were here for was that phone you sold me last weekend. Remember? No, I bought it here. You rang me out, and I even looked up that stupid rewards thing on the pad. Dude, I guarantee you didn't. At least not these cards. IT was these F cards. This is a set from 2016. A set we've never carried, and furthermore I didn't sell any magic cards on Wednesday, and we do this all the time. Come on man. Well, do you wanna buy them then if you're not gonna return them for me? We don't buy trading cards back. No. Do you wanna buy them? Not even remotely. And then he leaves, leaving the cards on the counter. I called out telling him, and he ignored me. Pretty obvious the intentions with all of this, but still. Thinking back on it, it's actually pretty hilarious.